Oh, let's see if I can get this shared out here. Share via tweet. It took that away. Set a status when you tweet? What are you talking about? Twitter? No, I don't want to do that right now. I don't know what that is. Twitter always trying to freaking up themselves. Okay, so here's what's up for tonight. I want to do a stream, but I can't go late because even though some will tell you that I am not a disabled veteran, I have to go to the VA tomorrow. It's not. It's one of those long days for me, so it's not going to be fun. So I'm not going to stay up too late or anything. But I do want to stream, so I'm going to try to shoot a stream out. Now, when the title of this is Phase 2, so I want to tell you why that is, and just tell you how things have changed a little bit in getting a team member to jump on and a human being to actually see what's going on in these communities. So with 4 people who Katie Joy doesn't include you. I know, right? If I don't say that, she'll try to cancel me with BS. I'm not saying it won't ever happen. Who knows what'll happen? It just depends on what these people do. Because I know I've said this in Discord. I don't know if I've said this out here yet, but you probably noticed in my last YouTube stream if you watched it, I'm just sick and tired of these people doing this stuff. Just to make sure that people know what's up. The doxing and the threats and all that crazy stuff whenever they get criticized or whenever somebody upsets them, because they're just these bullies in real life, these abusive bullies, and they want to kind of like, only when they're angry, of course, throw that out on the internet. And they take it like way too far. So, my original plan, of course, which you knew was, because I explained it like crazy due to the amount of people, not you all, but, the people that would come in from other creators' channels that would act like they had no clue what was going on. I explained it like crazy, which is to get a report together, get all the clips together, all the deleted links, dates, times, and get it professionally drawn up to save as much time as possible and be as direct as possible with the information for platforms, and then tag team YouTube on Twitter after those 2 partner emails I sent in, partner links I sent in, whatever you call it. It ends up going through email after you shoot it out through your partnership studio. Anyway, and to wait for Team YouTube to respond and just let people know that if they've been affected to go there and do that. But with the escalation, as if any of you didn't see my last stream, I'll hook you up. So in my last stream, I let you guys know, just because I was a little fed up, that they had, and a lot of people could already noticed it and seen stuff, but that they had gone full psychopath. Whatever you've seen them do to threaten and harass people, the fact that I was going to be tagging Team YouTube and trying to get a team member involved soon drove them to the absolute maximum degree, which we've all seen them go to several times. And they just basically, I don't have to tell you. I don't even want to repeat it anymore. I'm tired of repeating myself. So phase 2 is where, instead of me tagging them, letting other people know to tag them in a passive way, just bringing it up and letting people know, I'm going to be doing that still, because that's the main thing to do until we get a team member to hit us back. But I'm also going to be now going to phase 2 is actively taking measures to send in more reports in a few different ways and in a few more effective ways, while trying to get some attention. Phase 3 will be trying to get attention from some other YouTubers and maybe some media figures on what's going on. That's later on, though. those are things you do after you try to tag team YouTube for a while and you don't hear anything back. And you wait and you see if things calm down, because a lot of times they will after people initially lose their mind. When Team YouTube is tagged, they'll typically start getting really comfortable when they notice that it's going to take a while, and they'll start thinking in their heads, oh, nothing's happening, I'm good, and they'll go back to normal, because all of it really is just a fear response and an anger response, just more of a basic emotion response, right? Though, because of all the things I just stated, I'm just going to be working a little bit harder here, which I normally wouldn't do, you know, unless it was extremely important, you know. One way that I will, a lot of times in dealing with these people, and I mean doxers and harassers and these people like Molly and them, of course, and Road Pig and mcrae Lobster and others. One way to deal with them, you know, so that I don't get overwhelmed with work, while at the same time constantly checking my email and my Twitter DMs and all this stuff, and keeping an eye out for a response and everything. And at the same time, you know, I've already gotten a response, by the way. So just so you know, I've gotten an initial response with a few instructions. So, but that's neither here nor there. It's a bot response telling me to go do a few things through some links, and which I've done, and I'm in the process of doing more of, just so you know. But, you know, basically, I'm not just going to not do anything. I'm not just going to not do anything. That was the whole thing in the beginning, is a lot of people don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. A lot of the YouTubers that they target haven't been on the platform a long time, and they've never had to contact YouTube or get in touch with them, which is an extremely hard thing to do. Everybody knows that. Other than going through Team YouTube or through your partnership, but that's kind of ineffective unless you do certain things, which takes time, and that's what we're doing, of course. So I just want to let you know that we're going to be focusing a good amount, a few hours. I already have today. But again, all of this is involving attempting to get platform personnel as opposed to algorithm response, so that we make sure that they give us an answer, which is either that we have looked into it or that we aren't going to. And then if they do look into it, which they will, we're going to go with, well, are you going to allow this, or is it not allowed? Because if you're going to allow it, then you're going to have to update your terms of service and let people know that this kind of stuff is, you know, allowed, and, you know, let people know that they can do this now. So anyway, but you get all that. So I'm going to have a moderation meeting probably at 9, because I know that I want to try to time it to where we can catch as many moderators as we can before it's too late, before they have to go to bed, or before they got stuff going on. But catch as many as we can that are off work and that can spare a few minutes. And then we're going to be moving into phase 2. I didn't even think we would go to phase 2, to be honest. Like, I never thought, you know, that's just my way of kind of summing up what I just explained to you, because I don't want to have to explain it every time. I didn't think we would have to, but, you know, one thing that you can't doubt is that somehow we are going to be, the longer we expose scammers on the platform, and the bigger that we get a reputation for it, and the more that our content gets seen, this is what ends up leading to us getting these kind of stories brought in front of us. And that's exactly what's happened, right? So, you know, now that many, many more know, like right now at this moment, I could cover 3 more fraud raisers. And one of them is involving, some of you might have seen this in the last stream, one of them is involving a veteran with a lot of money, and most of the work has already been done. And they wanted to bring it to us so they can get more eyes on it and all this stuff. But there's others. And the last thing I'm going to do is do that and then lose focus right? Right now, but that's another reason why I want to get this whole thing over with. And so, it's good news. Things are moving as planned. It's not even been that long since we tag teamed YouTube, filed a few reports, and started to wait for, stuff to get together. But one thing, what I want is for this to be over with, since what they're showing us is that they're going to keep pressing this and pressing this and pressing this as extreme and as far as they can. What I want to do is get this to be looked at by a team. For every time they press it forward a single step, I want a team to look at this for a mile, okay? So, every little step they take, every one of their little incited anonymous accounts or buddies or whoever it is that's coming in and playing the game, for every one of these things that are going to keep happening, it's just going to strengthen the inevitability and quicken the inevitability of a team stepping in, because I've actually gotten the response from a few people that I'm going to be very vague about who they are, because they asked me to, of course. They don't want me to mention them, so I'm not going to say anything that'll lead you to who it could possibly be other than a content creator. And I've gotten a hold of a few that are just shocked that this has been happening for so long and that it hasn't already been handled. And that's the response as more and more people are starting to see, like, oh shit, Uni uploaded. Damn, you haven't been doing that lately, or me sending it to somebody and saying, yo, what do you think about this news story? And they're just immediately like, how is this possible? Like, how is this not being caught? How has this not been handled? and again, it's not that they're doing it. It's that they do it. They've been doing it for so long. That's the thing that gets them. So I've not had a single viewer or a single creator or a single person that has stated that that's nothing that should be reported, or that, a lot of everyone's response to me, if I ask them, which I ask the people that are really close to me, like I've already done with all my mods and admins and stuff, is what do I do? What should I be expected to do? What shouldn't I do? Majority of the time, content creators have known me for a really long time that I don't, rub shoulders with at all, so that they don't have any issues and stuff like that from my content. And a lot of us are still close and everything, but a lot of time when they look at me doing these topics, the first thing they'll say is, oh, just don't worry about it, man, let it go. And it's something that really drives me to not report people. I know that when Steve McCrae first tried to dox me in that clip that I've included in this whole thing, you guys know what I'm talking about. That was one of the reasons why back then I had intended to report it and ended up not doing it. I talked to a few creators and they were like, listen, man, these guys are all bark, no bite. They just are little old school harassers, let it go. And I took their advice then. I do think they were wrong now, right? But that's not what's happening with this situation. Everybody's saying, dude, this has to be handled. This is horrible for the platform. This is horrible for viewers, creators alike. It's horrible for the families. Like, we shouldn't even be thinking about YouTube. We should be thinking about the families that are being targeted, whether it's being targeted when they're experiencing a tragedy, or whether it's them being targeted when they criticize, or they've even said something that's taken as criticism and it leads to them being stalked, So anyway, there's your update. Any of my mods that are watching, I know that, what is today? It's Wednesday. I know it's one of those days that we typically don't do much, because a lot of times I got to be at the doctor Thursday when I have appointments. So we usually have hump day, Thursday, as a kind of more chill day. But I do need to try to have at least a meeting, a minor meeting, and schedule some stuff to do for after I get out of the doctor tomorrow. Because my goal and one more time, I'm going to repeat myself really quickly, it's a short one, in where I was more concerned with tagging Team YouTube and filing the report and waiting for a reply, whether it was a day, a week, 3 weeks, or whatever. Now I'm just concerned with this being over with as quickly as possible, because I feel that once they do something about this, I do think it'll be another week or so of just kicking and screaming and seething and crazy. But I think that the incentive will be taken away, in my opinion. It's my opinion. If you would have brought me these exact clips and conditions from anyone, I don't give a shit if they're the biggest one or the smallest, I would have said the same thing. You know, this is so extreme, it's gone so far that it just leads there. And I want to also get this over with because, you know, I've been having to be brought a bunch of drama, like I brought up in the member only stream or the stream before that. You know, oh, Charlotte's saying this, this person's doing this person's doing that. And I can't let all that go to waste. All the time I spent listening to it and having people bring it to me, you know, I might as well not let it go to waste. So I really would like this to be over with also, so I can show people who defended this and why they defended it and what measures they took to defend it, and just really show people out there, like, you know, here we are again. We're in it's like people didn't learn their lesson from the last issue, which was, of course, you know, I don't have to repeat it. They didn't learn their lesson from it. You know, they didn't draw lines. They just acted like they did. So now their community is infested with these kind of people again. And because of inaction it's not even inaction. I said that completely wrong. I apologize. Because of action to actually, in a passive way, support this stuff. Trying to ignore the stuff but support the YouTuber. Well, what about all this? What about these clips? What about the doxings? What about this? You notice, I'll bring up Charlotte, even though I didn't want to bring up anyone in the stream. She's someone that I'd like to know why she's ignored my upload when I have asked her, and I had people tell me that they also asked her, and I've asked her to react to my last upload on UniRock 2 and explain why she was supporting Letitia or Molly, or with these clips present, or at least not criticizing Letitia and Molly when she will, you know, go at people for similar things. And I don't want to go into all that right now, but you get my point. I think there's a lot to show by this whole thing. So I'm going to go into Discord now after I take the trash out so I don't get smacked around later. And, oh, yeah, Rachel's over there shaking her head up and down. And we're going to figure out dinner and stuff like that while I'm in Discord. And if I can pop off a fast stream, I'm going to do it quick. I'm going to do it fast. I'll have a few things to show you. I'll probably update the peeps on YouTube with what I just told you here, but in a more slimline fashion. And if I don't go live, just know that it's because we're getting this stuff done. But damn, man, I'll tell you, Molly is she's everything everybody said she was times a million. You know, she really is. She's setting some records, because we've seen a lot over the years. We have seen a lot, and she's setting some records. Okay, also, I think YouTube pays us Friday, so I'm going to be sharing my pay link until Friday, y'all. So you can jump out now if you don't want to hear it. I'm giving you the warning. PayPal.me/UniRock. We're pretty much good, though, until payday. But, you know, if I don't share it, I'll be stupid not to. But it would help. It would help, you know, a bit. So I am going to share it. And like and subscribe and follow all that stupid stuff. Before I go, for those of you who know how much I complain about Dark Side Phil, the most interesting thing happened today. And I don't know how to explain it. It was really interesting. So I'll tell you about it sometime, or maybe I'll show it on the stream. Essentially, he was streaming, and the last like 6 days, he's been straight up like, okay, he did a stream yesterday where he played a video game. Because that's what he does. He's at the end of the game. He's at the end of the stream. He turns off the game. He's saying bye to his audience. And he goes, let's see how much support I've gotten in this stream. Now, mind you, he does 2 streams a day. And in each stream, he has to have a tip goal. So listen to this insanity. First insanity is, he looked and saw that he only had like $11 in tips or $20 in tips, which, by the way, he made like $80 or $50 earlier in the day. And so he said, oh my God, I am really angry at the level of support. Why aren't you guys supporting? Which I was like, damn, he's getting kind of brazen. Again, it's the month of the LARP. It affects the entirety of YouTube. It doesn't just affect these certain, you'll notice that all these kind of shitty creators all get real antsy and crazy around this time. So that happened, and I could go into more detail with it, but oh my God, it's bad. I'm uploading what he did. Whether it's going to be in a stream or an upload, I don't know, but it's getting on my channel because I have to show it to you. And then though, today, that was yesterday. Today, the most insane thing happened. So he's streaming. He typically gets between 200 and 300 viewers, okay? And Rachel tells me, you got to see this. And I'm like, what? And I open up DSP's stream, and I don't even know why she was watching it. I guess she was looking for DSP videos and saw him streaming, so she clicked it. He had like 5,000 people watching, okay? So listen to this shit, because I don't even know what to think about this. I think it's bots. So, yeah, and he had 100 likes, 300 people watching, shoots up to 5,000, okay? He goes, man, I really appreciate it if you guys would like my stream. Wow, can't believe I have all these people watching me, right? And he gets like 2,000 likes or something after he asks for them. And then, out of nowhere, 5 minutes later, they're gone. Then they're gone. They're just gone. He goes down to like 300 people watching, 400, which is a little high for him, but it was probably because the word was spreading that this was happening, so there was more people, clicking in to be like, what the hell just happened, right? So of course, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to what I was doing here. But by the time I was about to click out, he shot back up to like 4,000 or 5,000 people watching him out of the blue. Just shot back up. Oh, that's right. And this is the reason I'm bringing this up. So there was one account, and he ends up seeming like he is a real account. He looks like a botter because I checked out his account. And he had about 24 million views on YouTube. And he had one video on his channel, which means he's probably unlisted a lot of videos, right? When you private or delete, it'll take the views away. When you unlist, I think it sometimes leaves them. Anyway, 24 million views, one video. That video's got like 1,000 views or something. So his account is very sus. The guy, he has 1,000 subs with 24 million views. Very sus. You'd expect him to have a little bit more than that. He's the guy who is in that stream dropping 50 gifted memberships, but he spent like $2,000. I mean, 50. We added it up and I was like, that's like $2,000. She's like, yeah. And he ended up like getting like, he had like 400 members and it went up to like 800 or something insane. I have no clue what the hell happened. I'd like to kind of, it's definitely interesting because if it's bots, it's weird that bots hit and then this happened. Now there is a theory that bots came in, hit his channel. Somebody botted his channel. God knows who. Now I've had similar thing happen, right? I've done my nightly show, had 400 or 500 people watching, and then it shoots up to 3,000, right? But those 3,000 people were watching, and it would slowly, over a period of 3 or 4 hours, creep down to like 2,200 by the time I went offline. It's not bot-like to have a bunch of people join your stream. It's bot-like to see them come and go in giant waves. There would never be an explanation for why all those people left all at once, unless I'm missing something, and then came back later and then left again. But anyway, long story short, I do think that it was somebody botting his channel for whatever reason. And then I think one of his audience members either legit spent $2,000 in gifted subs, or not legit did it, like maybe used a stolen credit card or something, or tried to trick the system in some way. Either way, just wanted to let you know about that, because I think people are going to be talking about it for the next few days. It's one of those little things that catches my eye, ends up being all over YouTube in a day or two. Because I had a theory, maybe somebody was botting his channel so they can try to frame him to YouTube for using bots, because people are trying to constantly get him kicked off the platform. But you know what? I honestly don't know how he's still monetized myself. Now, I'm not saying I want him demonetized. I'm saying that YouTube will pull monetization from people for many reasons, and constant guilt trip, kind of like, over like scammy, kind of like, woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, donate stuff. Like he'll literally, he doesn't just go and tell you what's going on, honest with you, share his links, go offline. You'll notice every YouTuber does that. Every streamer does that, I'm sorry. But what they'll do is literally say, I've got bills due this week, really need to up the tips, guys. And this is just the least of it, the least of it. I have been collecting these clips. I think it's going to be a really interesting study, because I want to study a few different examples of people scamming or manipulating or lying to their audience in order to try to get large sums of money, when and why they would do that, as opposed to choosing, he's got a couple 100,000 subs. He made it, he could go and legit stream, legit share his stuff. Yeah, he may not get as much money, but it would be more than all of us make, even if he did that. And he doesn't do it. So anyway, there's that. I'm jumping in Discord. I don't know if one of the admins can just keep an eye out and let others know that we want to try to do a meeting tonight. I'll make it quick. I'll do 5 minutes. And you know how to support me, so I'm outie 5,000 G. Peace.